Hello everyone. So in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the month of July. Session will be quite interesting, so do pay attention till the end. Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find our Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will be getting daily, weekly and monthly current affairs on regular basis. You can use code Vikas10 to get additional 10% discount while purchasing the course. This video is available both in English and Hindi. The timestamp for both English and Hindi are mentioned in the description of each video. You can contact us on the number provided or mail provided. Also follow us on Telegram and Instagram, and the link for the same is provided in the description of each video. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. Also students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website AffairsCloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description. Now let's start. The first is Department of Economic Affairs kept the interest rate on small savings scheme unchanged for the second quarter of FY25. Match the saving schemes with respective of their interest. If we talk about here, Public Provident PPF, the interest rate here is 7.5%. Sukanya Smriddhi Yojana, the interest rate here is 8.2%. For Kisan Vikas Patra, the interest rate is 7.75%, and National Savings Certificate, the interest rate is 7.7%. So take a note of this. Next, SEBI raised the threshold of the basic service demat account from the existing limit of 2 lakh rupees to 10 lakh rupees. Take a note of this. And the updated regulations will come into effect from when? From 1st of September 2024. Right? So this BSDA account, that is your basic service demat account limit, earlier was 2 lakh rupees. It has been raised to 10 lakh rupees. Next, which bank has recently signed an agreement to provide financial support of over 850 crore rupees for urban infrastructure projects in Mumbai with Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority? It is KfW Bank. This is the bank, correct, of Germany. They will provide a financial support of 850 crore rupees for the urban infrastructure development projects in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And here MMRDA, they have also raised around 365 crore rupees, and they will be using their funds for the sustainable projects here. Correct. Then apart from this, if we talk about JICA, Japan International Corporation Agency, right, they have also recently signed a loan agreement with L&T, and this loan agreement will be for the development of the financial, or basically for the development of the India's lagging states, and this is worth $125 million, and India's lagging states will be developed using this fund. Next, name the helicopter that was recently de-inducted by the Indian Navy after 17 years of the service. It is UH-3H. This is the name of the helicopter, and it has been recently bid farewell by the Indian Navy after 17 years of the service. This helicopter will be replaced by which helicopter? It will be replaced by Sea King 42C helicopter. Right, take a note of this. Then if we talk about Mi-17 V5, Indian Air Force, they have recently conducted the Bambi Bucket operation. And what was this Bambi Bucket operation? This was to spray the water on the forest fires in Nainital, Uttarakhand. And in this Bambi Bucket operation, the helicopter that was used was Mi-17 V5 helicopter. Next, name the portal that has been recently launched by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation to provide real-time data to the planners, policymakers and researchers and the general public. So it is eSankhiyi, right? This is the name of the portal. This is an online platform that will provide the real-time data to the planners, policymakers and researchers so that a better decision making can be done, right? So we can say this will give you an analysis from the data sets, right? Proper analysis will be done on this e-Sankhi, and this will be giving this final analysis to these planners and policymakers, researchers, so that better policy making can be done. This portal was launched by Dr. Arvind Pangaria, the chairman of the 16th Finance Commission, and this portal was launched on the National Statistics Day observed on 29th of June. The theme for this National Statistics Day is use of data for decision making. Next, what was the remittance value received by India in 2023 according to the World Bank's Migration and Development Brief released in June 2024? So, what was the remittance value? It was $120 billion of remittance value according to the World Bank. And remittance to India are forecasted to grow by 3.7% in 2024 to $124 billion. Also remember, our country is the only country in the world that has crossed $100 billion of remittance value. Correct? On second position, it is Mexico. Correct? Take a note of it. Next, who has been recently appointed as the chairman of CBDT? Ravi Agarwal has been appointed as the chairman of CBDT. He is a 1988 batch IRS officer and he will be succeeding Nitin Gupta. Next, who has recently taken over the charge as the 30th Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army? So, who is the new Chief of Army Staff? He will be Upendra Dwivedi. Correct? He is the 30th Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding General Manoj Pandey. Right? Also, General Upendra Dwivedi, he has been awarded with Param Vashist Seva Medal, Ati Vashist Seva Medal. Correct? Take a note of this. Then if we talk about Dinesh Kumar Tripathi here, has Government of India has announced that Vice Admiral Dinesh Kumar Tripathi will be the 26th Chief of Naval Staff. And who is the 30th Chief of Army Staff? Upendra Dwivedi. Next, which bank has recently joined Project Nexus, that is an international initiative that aims to facilitate instant cross-border retail payments by linking domestic fast payment system through a unified platform. It is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. This Project Nexus, this is basically conceptualized by the Innovation Hub of the Switzerland-based bank BIS, that is Bank for International Settlement, and this aims to connect the domestic instant payment systems worldwide. So what is this Project Nexus? It aims to connect domestic instant payment systems worldwide. This will be the first project of this BIS that will be having the live implementation, and here in this we will be seeing Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, India, right? They are the founding members of this Project Nexus, and their central banks will be connected so that a better payment system, a fast payment systems can be conceptualized. This project is going live in 2026. Next, who has been recently selected as the 27th chairman of SBI by Financial Service Institution Bureau? So, Challa Srinivasulu Sethi, CS Sethi, has been selected as the 27th chairman of SBI by FSIB. Here, Sethi, he will be succeeding Dinesh Kumar Sara, and his term is set to end on 28th of August. See friends, as of now, when we are making this video and you will be watching this video, as of now, Dinesh Kumar Khara is the chairperson. But from 28th of August onwards, CS Sethi will be the new chairman. Correct? So don't get confused here. And he will be the 27th chairman. If we talk about Amitabh Singh Chaudhary here, Axis Bank, they have approved the reappointment of Amitabh Singh Chaudhary as their MD and CEO for the next 3 years. Next, who was recently sworn in as the Prime Minister of Netherlands? So Dick Schoof, he has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Netherlands. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Mark Rutte. Next, which state has recently signed an MOU with Rajasthan government for the implementation of 72,000 crore rupees Parbati Kalasnidhi Chambal interstate river linking project? So these 3 rivers will be connected here, and with the help of this, the amount of water that will be stored in these 3 rivers, they will be used for the project of irrigation for industrial use, right? And it will help in these areas, especially in Rajasthan and the Chambal district of Madhya Pradesh will be benefited here. A total of 13 districts will be benefited with this. Correct? The question asks is that which state has signed this MOU? So it is Madhya Pradesh. They have signed this MOU with Rajasthan government for this PKC interstate river linking project. Next, name the 16th edition of the India-Mongolia joint military exercise between Indian Army and Mongolian Army that was held from 3 to 6th of July in Umroi, Meghalaya. Take a note of the location where was this held, in Umroi, Meghalaya. Name of the exercise is Exercise Nomadic Elephant. It was held between Indian Army and Mongolian Army. And in this, from Indian side, Sikkim Scouts took part in this exercise. Then remember, in the exercise Cutlass Express, which Indian naval ship took part? It was INS Tir that took part in this exercise, and it was held where? In the Seychelles. Next, Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs extended the deadline for dash up to 31st of March 2025. So, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has extended the deadline of Smart Cities Mission up to 31st of March 2025. This is for the second time that this deadline has been extended, which was earlier 30th of June 2024. And government has allocated almost 48,000 crore rupees for 100 cities for their development in the Smart Cities Mission. Next, name the military exercise that took place between India and Thailand at Fort Vachira Prakan in Tak province of Thailand from 1st to 15th of July. So what is the name of that military exercise? It is Maitri, right? This Maitri, this is the 13th edition of India Thailand joint military exercise Maitri. It was held from 1st to 15th of July. Correct? Take a note of this. And this exercise has been conducted between India and Thailand every year since 2006. And this time it was held in Thailand. Last edition, that was the 12th edition, it was held in Umroi, Meghalaya. Then if we talk about Tiger Trump, this is an exercise. This is a humanitarian assistance disaster relief exercise held between India and United States of America, and this time it was held in Andhra Pradesh, Visakhapatnam. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to the International Cricket Council Men's T20 World Cup 2024? If we look at the options, option A and option C are right, option B is wrong. B is saying that this marks India's second T20 World Cup title. India previously won the inaugural edition of the T20 World Cup held in 2009 under the captainship of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So remember, this marks India's second T20 World Cup. Earlier one, they won it not in 2009 but in 2007. Next, which country has recently become the 10th member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is SCO? So it is Belarus. Belarus became the 10th member of SCO. Next, which bank celebrated the 69th Foundation Day on 1st of July 2024? It is State Bank of India. They recently celebrated the 69th Foundation Day on 1st of July, and they have announced 11 new initiatives during this. And right now, who is the chairman? Dinesh Kumar Khara, as I told you, and the new one will be appointed from the 28th of August. Next, remember, for Canara Bank has ranged a new innovative products that are aimed at enhancing the financial inclusivity and addressing the healthcare needs. Next, which insurance company has recently launched an agency transformation project named Jeevan Smrat to future-proof its 14 lakh agents workforce to meet the evolving customer needs? It is LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India. And LIC, they have partnered with AT Kearney with global strategy consulting firm to undertake the transformation projects here. Right? Then if we talk about Canara HSBC Life Insurance Company, correct, they have introduced Promise for Growth. This is a ULIP, unit linked insurance plan that is designed for the customers embarking upon a journey toward financial security. Next, who has recently sworn in as the 13th Chief Minister of Jharkhand? So Hemant Soren has been appointed as sworn in as the 13th Chief Minister of Jharkhand, and he has been appointed here for the third time. Next, if we talk about Mohan Charan Manji, he is a BJP leader and he has been appointed as the 15th Chief Minister of Odisha. Next, Government of India mandated the Indian Standards Institution mark for stainless steel and aluminium kitchen utensils to conform the national quality standards set by BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards. right? Two standards have been launched here, correct? And this will be for stainless steel and aluminum utensils. Any product of aluminum, steel and aluminum, for stainless steel and aluminum utensils that won't be having these two standards ISI marks, they won't be able to be sold in the general market. Next, who has been recently appointed as the 58th Prime Minister of United Kingdom? So Keir Starmer has been appointed as the 58th Prime Minister of United Kingdom. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Rishi Sunak. If we talk about Peter Pellegrini, he has been appointed, he is the former Prime Minister of Slovakia and he became the President of Slovakia. Right? Next, which ministry has recently designated as the nodal ministry for the Hajj Committee of India, that is a statutory body that organizes Hajj pilgrimage for the Indian pilgrims? It is Ministry of Minority Affairs. Next, who has been recently elected as the 9th president of Iran? So Masoud Pezeshkian, right? He has been appointed as the 9th president of Iran. He will take over from Mohammad Mukber, who was the interim president, as Ibrahim Raisi passed away in 2024. Next, who has been recently appointed as the interim managing director and chief executive officer of Bandhan Bank Limited? So Ratan Kumar Kesh. He has been appointed as the interim managing director and chief executive officer of Bandhan Bank Limited. He will be succeeding whom? He will be succeeding Chandrasekhar Ghosh. Next, name the organization that has recently delivered the first batch of 35,000 Kalashnikov AK-203 assault rifles to the Indian Army. It is Indo-Russian Rifles Private Limited and they are being built in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. Next, according to RBI's measuring productivity at the industry level, India KLMES database, India's employment rate provisionally grew at 6% in FY24 from a growth of 3.2% in FY23. Next, in July, Union Cabinet of India approved the signing of the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement or High Seas Treaty under what? So it was under UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention on the Laws of Sea. This agreement aims to conserve the marine biodiversity in the areas beyond national jurisdiction, that is also known as the high seas. That is the reason it is known as High Seas Treaty. Next, which company has recently launched India's first tourism index fund? It is Tata Asset Management Private Limited. This scheme will open for continuous sale and purchase from 29th of July and this is the first domestic fund focused on the tourism theme. This fund will be managed by Kapil Menon. Next, name the Indian businesswoman who has been recently honored with the France's highest civilian award, that is Knight of the Legion of Honor. So Roshni Nadar Malhotra, she is the Indian businesswoman. She is the chairperson of HCL and has been honored with the France's highest civilian award, that is Knight of the Legion of Honor. Next, who has been recently appointed as the MD and CEO of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank Limited? So Govind Singh, he has been appointed as the MD and CEO of Utkarsh Small Finance Bank Limited and he will be in this position for the next 3 years. If we talk about Sanjeev Notial, RBI has appointed Sanjeev Notial as the MD and CEO of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank and he also will be in this position for the next 3 years. Next, in July, Roscosmos, that is Russia's space agency, right, they have approved the schedule for the creation of Russian orbital station by which date? It is by 2033. So Russia don't want to be lag behind in this race of the International Space Station. So even China, they have made their Tiangong space station and Russia are also making their Russian orbital station now and they will be by 2033. Next, who has been recently appointed as the chef de mission for the Indian contingent at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games? So Gagan Narang, right, he has been appointed as chef de mission here. Who is a chef de mission? Chef de mission is an individual who looks after all the public hearings for the Indian contingent, right, and for all the controversies, all the regulations. So he will be the person who will be managing that, correct? And he has been appointed here chef de mission. Also remember, he is related to air rifle game. Then Neeraj Chopra, he will lead the 28-member Indian contingent. And who are the flag bearers here? PV Sindhu and A. Sharat Kamal. Next, Which state is said to become the first in India to adopt an action plan for the road safety for the next 10 years? It is Rajasthan, and here in this, World Bank will be helping them to achieve this target for the adoption of the safety plans for the people on road in Rajasthan. This will be conducted in 3 phases from 25 to 27, then from 27 to 2030, and from 2030 till 2033. So these will be 3 phases in which this action plan will be carried out. Next, which of the following points are correct with respect to UNESCO's recent addition of 11 new biosphere reserves? If we look at this, option A and option C are right, B is wrong. B is stating that for the first time, biosphere reserves from Belgium and Tanzania were included in UNESCO's World Network of Biosphere Reserve. Right? So, is it correct? No. In this, remember, it was for the first time the biosphere reserve from Belgium and Gambia were added to the biosphere reserve, and now there are total of 759 sites, biosphere reserve sites, all around the world across 136 countries. Next, name the mutual fund that has recently launched India's first oil and gas ETF. It is ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund. They have launched India's first oil and gas ETF. Next, Turkey, they have launched first indigenously developed communication satellite TurkSat-6A through the Space Exploration Technologies SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. This TurkSat-6A is developed by whom? It is developed by Aselsan, right? This is a company of Turkey, and they have developed this first communication satellite TurkSat-6A. This will be launched into space using Falcon 9 rocket of SpaceX. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new head coach of the Indian cricket team for up to 2027? So Gautam Gambhir has been appointed as the new coach of men's senior cricket team. He has replaced Rahul Dravid. Next, India and which country have implemented the mutual recognition agreement for organic products with effect from 8th of July 2024. So India and Taiwan, they have collaborated and they have signed a mutual recognition agreement for the use of organic products and for the trade of organic products between these two countries from 8th of July 2024. Next, which organization has recently announced the new World Soil Health Index to establish global standards for soil quality assessment? It is UNESCO, right? In order to make sure there are proper standards for the soil, so that the farmers can get idea on the basis of those standards that what is the quality of their soil, and on the basis of that how they can improve the soil, what are the measures that they should take, what are the processes they should follow, so that their soil health can be enhanced. Right, so for the same reason, this global standard for soil quality assessment will be released by UNESCO. Next, which is the only Indian NBFC recently selected for the FATF Mutual Evaluation Report 23-24? It is your Muthoot Finance Limited, right? This is the India's NBFC that has been selected for the Financial Action Task Force Mutual Evaluation Report, right? Next, in July, 16th Finance Commission constituted a 5-member advisory council and appointed Dash as the convener of the council. So here, Poonam Gupta has been appointed as the convener of this council, of the 5-member advisory council that was set up by the 16th Finance Commission. Correct? Take a note of this. Moving on. Next, who has been recently appointed as the principal advisor at the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program? TB, it is a disease that affects your lung. TB stands for tuberculosis, right? It is a communicable disease. Question asked here is that who has been recently appointed as the principal advisor at the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program? So it is Soumya Swaminathan. Correct? And she will provide technical advice on the strategies for achieving the goals of this National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Moving on, which country has recently become the 5th full-time member of the Colombo Security Conclave? It is Bangladesh. Bangladesh became the 5th full-time member of this conclave security of this Colombo Security Conclave. Right? Remember here, Seychelles, they are the observers, correct? And Mauritius, they became the 4th country, and Bangladesh, they are the 5th country. If we talk about Spain, they are the 99th country who have joined International Solar Alliance. Next, also one more thing, Peru, they became the 41st country to join the NASA's Artemis Accord, and Slovakia, they became 42nd country to join the Artemis Accord of NASA. Next, which organization has recently secured a green loan worth Japanese yen of 31.96 billion from the Deutsche Bank AG? It is REC Limited. They have secured this green loan worth 31.96 billion Japanese yen, that is close to $200 million from Deutsche Bank AG. Next, NPCI International Payment Limited, that is NIPL, they recently signed an agreement with whom to introduce QR code based UPI payment across dash. So NIPL, they signed an agreement with whom? They signed an agreement with Qatar National Bank QNB to introduce UPI based or to introduce QR code based UPI payments across Qatar. So right option is option 3. Next, even in Sri Lanka, remember, it was PhonePe. They partnered with Lanka Pay, right? Lanka Pay, so that Indians who are traveling to Sri Lanka can use the facility of UPI. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Paytm Payments Bank Limited? It is Arun Kumar Bansal. Right, he's the former executive director of IDBI Bank and has been appointed as MD and CEO of Paytm Payments Bank Limited. He will succeed whom? He will be succeeding Surendra Chawla. Next, Ministry of Home Affairs has declared dash as Samvidhan Hatya Divas, that is the Constitution Murder Day, to commemorate on the 1975 emergency in India. So remember, our Home Minister Amit Shah declared that every year 25th of June will be declared as Samvidhan Hatya Divas, that is the Constitution Murder Day, that is to commemorate the emergency that was implemented in India in 1975 by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And it is in 2025 we will be observing the 50th anniversary of the emergency. Also remember, the first edition of this Samvidhan Hatya Divas will be observed in 2025. Next, which states were ranked top in the Niti Aayog Sustainable Development Goals Index 23-24? It is Kerala and Uttarakhand. They have recently topped the Niti Aayog Sustainable Development India Index. This was the 4th edition of the Sustainable Development Goals India Index dashboard, and Kerala, they have retained the top position here. Correct? Take a note of this. Bihar, they secured the lowest position, that means they were the worst performer. If we talk about union territories, it is Chandigarh that secured the top position here. Next, which ministry has recently launched the Skill India Digital Hub portal to ensure that beneficiaries receive complete information about all schemes? It is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. They have launched this Skill India Digital Hub portal to ensure beneficiaries receive complete information about all the schemes. So this is your SIDH portal. This is a part of the digital public infrastructure so that the beneficiaries can receive particular information for their particular scheme, and this will create and this will ensure transparency in the system. Next, which company has recently received the RBI approval to become a core investment company? It is Geo Financial Service Limited. They are a NBFC. Now they have received the approval. They can transform into a core investment company. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Nepal, succeeding Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand? So, KP Sharma Oli, right? He recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Nepal, and he has succeeded Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand. Take a note of this. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited? Who he will be? Robert Gerard Ravi. He has been appointed as the Chairman and Managing Director of BSNL. Right? So, RJ Ravi, he will be succeeding Praveen Kumar Purwar. Next, name the portal that was recently launched by the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region to integrate farmers and sellers in the Northeastern region. It is NERACE. This is the portal. This will be connecting more than 50,000 farmers with 5,000 buyers so that a proper ecosystem can be maintained. This will operate as a business to farm or farm to business, farm to business marketplace This will take price negotiation, bookings will be done here, and real-time product availability will be shown on this portal. Correct? So this will help the basically the agriculture sector in northeastern region. Next, who has recently won the Golden Sand Masters Award with a golden medal at the International Sand Sculpture Championship held in Russia? So it is Sudarshan Patnaik. Sudarshan Patnaik. Next, which organization has recently launched One Scientist, One Product to enhance research in agriculture and animal husbandry? It is ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. They have launched a target-oriented research plan that is named One Scientist, One Product that will enhance the research in the agriculture and animal husbandry. Almost 5,521 ICAR scientists have been registered under this plan. And this plan was inaugurated by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. This plan will run for the next 5 years. Next, which bank in collaboration with Banco Bilbao, that is BBVA Colombia, they have recently launched the world's first biodiversity bond with a valuation of $70 million to combat biodiversity loss. So, which bank? It is IFC, International Finance Corporation. Right? This is the arm of World Bank Group. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the President of European Parliament until 2027? Robert Metsola has been appointed as the has been re-elected as the President of European Parliament until 2027, right? And she became the first woman to win the second term of the President of European Parliament. Also remember, she is 45 years of age and she's of European People's Party, Robert Metsola. Next, who won the 17th edition of Union or UEFA, that is Union of European Football Association European Football Championship that was held in Germany? So who won the 17th edition of UEFA Europe Championship? It was won by Spain. Correct? Take a note of this. And they defeated England in the finals by 2-1. And Spain, they have won the Europe Cup for the 4th time. Last time it was 1964, then 2008, then 2012, and now in 2024 they have won it. Next, which country recently won the 48th edition of the Copa America held in USA? It is Argentina. They have recently won the 48th edition of the Copa America held in United States of America. Next, RBI, they have authorized the banks to utilize the ratings from Dash for determining the risk weights in the capital adequacy purpose. RBI, they have authorized the banks to utilize the ratings from whom? From Brickworks Ratings India Private Limited to determine the risk weights in the capital adequacy ratio. Next, according to recently released Asian Development Bank's Asian Development Outlook, India's projected GDP at Dash for FY25. So according to Asian Development Bank, they projected Indian GDP to be at 7%. Right? Then if we talk about Goldman Sachs, they projected Indian GDP to be around 6.9% for FY25. Whereas OECD, they projected India to grow by 6.6% in FY25. Next, GST Council informed that a uniform rate of Dash integrated goods and service tax will be implemented for imports for all the parts, components, testing equipments, tools and toolkits of aircraft. That is 5% integrated GST will be implemented on those parts of the aircraft. Next, scientists from Dash have recently generated the first undersea map of Ram Setu or Adams Bridge using the laser technology from NASA's ICESat-2. So the scientists from NASA, they have recently generated the first undersea map of the Ram Setu or the Adams Bridge using the satellite ICESat-2 of NASA. Next, in July, RBI established a committee headed by Dash to review the fee structure for white label ATMs. White label ATMs are those ATMs that are maintained and operated by non-bank entities. Right? So RBI established a committee that will be headed by Sunil Mehta to review the fee structure of the white label ATMs. Next, which space organization that has recently discovered 6 new exoplanets. These are the exoplanets that were recently discovered. So it is NASA that have discovered recently 6 new exoplanets, and the total exoplanets now is 5502. Moving on, Next, who has been recently appointed as the representative for South Asia in the Asian Paralympic Committee? Deepa Malik, right? She has been appointed as the representative for the South Asia in the Asian Paralympic Committee. Next, which country has recently become the 53rd country to join the 1992 United Nations Water Convention? It is Ivory Coast, right? It became the 53rd country to join the 1992 United Nations Water Convention. Who recently won AIFF Men's Footballer of the Year for 23-24? So it was won by Lilianzula Changate, correct? And if we talk about the men's, Lilianzula Changate, he is from Mizoram. Take a note of this, correct? Then if we talk about AIFF Women Footballer of the Year, who will be AIFF Women Footballer of the Year? Indumati Kathisaran, right? She has been awarded with the AIFF Women Footballer of the Year and she is from Tamil Nadu. Next, the status of which organization has been recently upgraded from Schedule B to Schedule A CPSC? It is IRCTC. Next, which is not among the India's top 5 most inclusive brands featured in the Brand Inclusion Index 24 report released by Kantar. So among them, Nike is not among the top 5 Indian brands. Google, Tata Motors, Jio, Apple and your Amazon. These are the top 5 brands of India. Next, who has been recently appointed as the MD and CEO of Federal Bank Limited for a period of 3 years with effect from 23rd of September 2024. So KV Subramaniam. He has been appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Federal Bank for a period of 3 years. And he will replace whom? He will be replacing Shyam Srinivasan. Next, who has been recently appointed as the new Prime Minister of Estonia? So Christian Michael has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Estonia. Next, which space agency recently announced their plan to launch Ramses mission in 2028, and this Ramses is Rapid Apophis mission for space safety. This will study the asteroid Apophis, that is a near Earth orbit, for planetary defense purpose. So this Ramses will be launched by European Space Agency in 2028. Next, which organization has recently released a report titled The State of the World's Forest 2024 Forest Sector Innovation Towards a More Sustainable Future, stating India secured third rank among the countries with the most significant forest area gains 2010 to 2022 period. So, which organization? It is UN Food and Agriculture Organization. They have released this data, and here India stands on the third position. It is China that secured the first position, and Australia is among the second position. Next, which bank has recently launched various new digital initiatives including generative AI powered virtual relationship manager on the occasion of the 117th Foundation Day? So which bank launched this various new digital initiatives including the generative AI powered virtual relationship manager on the occasion of the 17th Foundation Day? So which bank? It is Bank of Baroda. Next, which entity has recently approved $200 million loan along with $15.6 million grant for capacity building to SIDBI financing mitigation and adoption projects in the Indian MSMEs. So to help them, this amount has been allocated, and it is which organization or fund? It is Green Climate Fund. This Green Climate Fund has been established by United Nations Climate UNFCCC. Right? They have launched this Green Climate Fund and they have approved this $200 million loan as well as $15.6 million grant from capacity building for SIDBI so that they can help the MSMEs in the climate transition projects. Next, which organization has recently revised the guidelines regarding the Commission for Long-Term Motor Insurance Policies? It is IRDAI. Next, who has been recently honored with the Olympic Order by International Olympic Committee for outstanding contributions to the Olympic movement? This Olympic Order, this is considered one of the highest award given by IOC, and here it is Abhinav Bindra who was honored with this Olympic Order by IOC. Next, what is India's ranking in the Henley Passport Index as of July 2024? India stands at 82nd position and 58 countries There are visa-free entries to 58 countries for India. India shares this 82nd position with Senegal and Tajikistan, and Singapore stands at first position here, which is having visa-free entry to 195 countries. Next, who recently became the second Indian after Mahatma Gandhi to be honored with the customized gold coins by Grevin Museum in Paris, France. So Shah Rukh Khan was honored with this award, with these gold coins. Next, which shipbuilding company has recently launched Triput Yard 1258, the first of two P1135.6 class frigate for the Indian Navy? It has been launched by Goa Shipyards Limited. Who has recently honored with the Officer of the Order of Arts and Letters by the French government to recognize his contribution to Indo-French Artistic Cooperation? Rahab Alana. Next, who has been recently re-elected as the International Olympic Committee member from India? So Neeta Mukesh Ambani, and this is for the second time she has been appointed here, and decision was taken during the 142nd IOC session. She received 100% vote, and she is the first Indian woman to join IOC in 2016. Next, which organization has recently launched EcoZen, Asia's first low carbon green zinc? It is Hindustan Zinc Limited. Next, which city has recently elected as the host for the 26th Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games for 2030? It will be French Alps of France. So 26th edition, and it will be held in 2030. But if we talk about the 27th edition, and that will be held in 2034, this will be held in Salt Lake City, Utah of USA. Next, in July, the Union Ministry of Information and Broadcasting inaugurated India's 500th community radio station, that is Apna Radio 90 FM, at Indian Institute of Mass Communication, that is located in Aizawl, Mizoram. Next, who led the high-level committee that has recently approved a number of disaster mitigation and capacity building projects for various states across India? He will be Amit Shah, our Home Minister. Next, to which date the Government of India extended the duration of the Electric Mobility Promotion Scheme with an enhancement outlay of 778 crore rupees. So it has been extended till 30th of September 2024. Next, who recently took over the chair as the Asian Disaster Preparedness Center from China for the year 24-25? So he will be Rajendra Singh. Rajendra Singh took over as the chair of the ADPC, that is Asian Disaster Preparedness Center from China for 24-25. Next, in July, RBI issued a prompt corrective action framework for what? It was for the urban cooperative banks, and this framework will be replacing the supervisory action framework that is in place since January 2020. Next, name the multinational peacekeeping exercise that was participated by Indian Army in Mongolia. So name of the exercise is Khan Quest. Next, which of the following entities was not recently selected by the RBI for the test phase under the 5th cohort of the regulatory sandbox on the theme neutral? What is this regulatory sandbox? This is an environment where a service is being tested before launching it for the general public. So it is Tech Infini Solutions Private Limited. This was not a part of the 5 cohort teams that were selected by RBI for the regulatory sandbox on the theme neutral. Next, on the occasion of Nelson Mandela's 106th birth anniversary, who and Victor Gonzalez Torres received the prestigious Gandhi Mandela Award 2020. So, Victor Gonzalez and Rigoberta Menchú Tum, right? They received this Gandhi Mandela Award 2020, and this award is given to the individuals who promote and follow the ideologies of Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Next, match the following governors with respect to their states and appointments. If we talk about Santosh Kumar Gangwar, he has been appointed as the governor of Jharkhand. Then Haribhau Kishan Rao Bagde appointed as the governor of Rajasthan. CP Radhakrishnan appointed as the governor of Maharashtra, and Lakshman Prasad Acharya as the governor of Assam. Which bank has recently appointed Indian tennis player Sumit Nagal as their brand endorser? So Bank of Baroda has appointed Indian tennis player Sumit Nagal as their brand endorser. Apart from this, remember, if we talk about Bank of India, so Bank of India, they have signed an agreement with IMGC, that is India Mortgage Guarantee Corporation, to provide mortgage guarantee backed home loans products in the affordable housing segments. Next, which organization has recently signed a launch service agreement with Space Machines Company to launch second Optimus spacecraft, that is the largest Australian designed and built spacecraft weighing 450 grams. It is New Space India Limited. Next, and this has been launched under mission Maitri. Maitri is Mission for Australia India Technology Research and Innovation. This marks a significant milestone in the relationship between India and Australia in the space domain. And NSIL, they will be charging $18 million for this launch, and it will be launched from India. Next, which state has recently launched Mukhya Mantri Tirath Darshan Yojana, that is a pilgrimage scheme for senior citizens from the all religions. Right? It is Maharashtra state that has launched this Mukhya Mantri Tirath Darshan Yojana, a pilgrimage scheme, and this is for the senior citizens from all the religions. Next, name the Indian women cricketer who recently became the fastest double centurion in the women's test cricket. So Shefali Verma, right, became the fastest double centurion in the history of women's test cricket. Shefali recorded the feat during the test against the South Africa in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. She is 20 years of age. Next, name the swimmer who will be the youngest Indian athlete to participate in the 2024 Olympic Games. So Dhinidhi Disinghu, right, is set to complete 2024 Paris Olympics as she is secured a berth at the University Places qualification system. She is 14 years of age and she will be the India's youngest athlete at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. So this question can be asked that who will be the India's youngest athlete to participate in 2024 Paris Olympic Games, and she is related to swimming. So Dhinidhi Disinghu. Next is REC Power Development and Consultancy Limited. They handed over Kallam Transco Limited special purpose vehicle to Integrate Consortium and Jalpura Khurja Power Transmission Limited SPV to Dash Company. It will be to Tata Power Company Limited. So here remember REC Power Development and Consultancy Limited, they handed over this Kallam Transco Limited, that is an SPV, to Integrate Consortium and Jalpura Khurja Power Transmission Limited SPV to which company? To Tata Power Company Limited. Next, as of April 24, India aims to produce 100 gigawatts of nuclear power by dash year. So as of April 2024, India aims to produce 100 gigawatt of nuclear power by the year 2047. And remember, there is also another target of Government of India to achieve insurance for all by 2047. Next, in April, Technology Development Board, that is TDB, entered into an agreement with Remain India Private Limited to establish a commercial plant for recycling lithium-ion batteries and e-waste in Dash City. So it will be where? It will be in Sitarganj in Uttarakhand. So coming back, it is TDB, Technology Development Board. They have entered into an agreement with Remain India Private Limited to establish the commercial plant for the recycling of lithium-ion batteries that and e-waste in e-waste is your electronic waste, right? And this recycling plant will be set up where? It will be in Sitarganj in Uttarakhand, and the project cost here will be 15 crore rupees. Next, which company has recently unveiled their official brand new logo with the tagline Fueling Sustainable Growth? It is Central Coalfields Limited. I repeat, Central Coalfields Limited. This is the company that has unveiled the official brand new logo with the tagline Fueling Sustainable Growth. Next, in which Indian Institute of Technology the experimental license module for 100 5G labs was launched in April 2024, right? We are talking about a 5th generation technology lab where multiple use cases will be discussed, it will be researched upon, right, and it will be implemented, and 100 such 5G labs will be established. Question asked is which IIT, in which IIT this experimental license module for 100 5G labs was launched? It is in IIT Madras. Where this IIT Madras located? It is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And what is the main objective here? To foster skill and engagement in the 5G technology so that new students can take up this technology, do research and development, and come up with new startups or come up with the new use cases for this technology. Next, according to the provisional government data by the Ministry of State's Joint Plant Committee in April, India imported dash million tons of finished steel in FY24. So as per the provisional government data by the Ministry of Steel's Joint Plant Committee in April, India imported 8.319 million tons of finished steel in FY24. Apart from this, the steel consumption in India has increased by 13.4% to 136 million tons in FY24. Next, the right answer here is option 2. Next is Ministry of External Affairs approved a proposal for India Ports Global Limited to take over the operations of Sitwe Port in Rakhine in Dash country. It will be in Myanmar. I repeat, Ministry of External Affairs approved a proposal for India Ports Global Limited to take over the operations of the Sitwe Port in Rakhine, Myanmar. And it will be the second foreign port that will be operated by India. First was Chabar Port. Where is this Chabar Port? It is in Iran. And this is the second port, that is Sitwe Port. And where this Sitwe Port will be? It is in Myanmar. So these are the two foreign ports that are being operated by the government of India. Next, which international organization has launched expression of interest, that is an EOI, with India to promote startup collaboration on the recycling of electric vehicle batteries? It is European Union, right? European Union has recently launched EOI with India to promote startup collaboration on the recycling of electric vehicle batteries. Next, name that organization or NGO that has recently initiated a 5-year collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to improve the central government health scheme ecosystem, that is CGHS. What is this CGHS ecosystem or CGHS scheme? In this, the central government employees, they get the medical benefits or medical insurances, right? And question asked is that which NGO or organization recently initiated a 5-year collaboration with Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to improve the CGHS ecosystem? It is Quality Council of India. They have recently signed this MOU, or they have signed this collaboration. This is for the next 5 years with Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that will be improving this CGHS ecosystem. Next, according to the data released by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in April, a total of kilometer of national highways were constructed in the financial year 24. So, according to the data released by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, a total of 12,349 kilometer of national highways were constructed in FY24. Next students, let's move to some revision part. They will be very beneficial for your learning. Next, in April, which state received the GI tag for 13 new products including the Tarangi Barfi and Banaras metal casting craft? It is Uttar Pradesh. By the name of Banaras only you can get an idea that these products, these new 13 products are from UP that got the GI tag, that included Tarangi Barfi and Banaras metal casting craft. Now with this, the total number of GI tags in UP becomes 75 and UP has retained the position as the state with the maximum number of GI tags. On second position it is Tamil Nadu with 58 GI tags. Next, which IIT has recently signed an MOU with Bharat Electronics Limited for cooperation in research and technology? It is IIT Mandi. IIT Mandi has recently signed an MOU with Bharat Electronics Limited for cooperation in research and technology, and this MOU aims to leverage the strength and capabilities of Bharat Electronics Limited and IIT Mandi. Next is a team of archaeologists discovered a unique Iron Age megalithic site at Dash. So this new unique Iron Age megalithic site was discovered where? In Telangana, right? And it is believed that the paintings here are dated back to the Mesolithic age, that is between 8000 to 3000 BEC, since no weapons or domestic animals are shown here. Next, which country has recently signed an agreement with India to operate a large research hub in New Delhi? It is Russia country, right? And in Russia too, remember, it is the HSE University of Russia. They have recently signed an agreement with India, and India's university here is Delhi University, that will be setting up a large research hub in New Delhi. And where this large research hub will be, it will be in the Delhi University only, right? And this agreement, this was signed during the Indo-Russian Education Summit that was held in New Delhi. Next is, which company has recently received the Navratna status from the Department of Public Enterprise? It is National Fertilizers Limited, right? It has received the Navratna status from Department of public enterprise. And here remember NFL, they have authorized a capital of 1000 crore rupees and paid up capital of 490.58 crore rupees for the same. Next, name the naval or which naval exercise has recently conducted by the Indian Navy on the east coast. So it is Purvi Lahar. This is the name of the exercise, Purvi Lahar. It was conducted on the east coast. Purvi Lahar is XPOL also. This can also be written. And this is an exercise conducted on the east coast. This exercise saw the participation of Indian Air Force, Andaman and Nicobar Command, then Eastern Naval Command and Indian Coast Guard also. Next, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, released a commemorative stamp and a coin to mark the 2550th Bhagwan Mahavir Nirvan Mahotsav in New Delhi. What was the denomination of this commemorative coin that was launched? So this day, this was basically to commemorate the 2550th anniversary of the Bhagwan Mahavir Nirvan Mahotsav, that is in New Delhi. It was held in New Delhi, and a commemorative coin was released by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What is the denomination of this coin? This is a 100 rupees coin. Right? Take a note of this. And this coin with denomination of 100 gram, it weighs around 35 grams. Also, this coin features a Nalanda Pavapuri Jal Mandir and Bhagwan Mahavir's 2550 Nirvan Kalyanak. This is both in Devanagari script and with English. Next is which IIT along with IIT Delhi has recently signed an MOU with Armed Force Medical Services for collaborative research and training. It is IIT Kanpur. Right? IIT Kanpur along with IIT Delhi has recently signed MOU with Armed Force Medical Services for collaboration research and training. Here, the biomedical research ecosystem of IIT Delhi will provide the technical expertise that are needed for the research in this segment. Next is which company has recently inaugurated India's first multi-purpose green hydrogen pilot project in Himachal Pradesh. It is SJVN Limited. This is the company. They have inaugurated India's first multi-purpose green hydrogen pilot project in Himachal Pradesh, and it is a multi-purpose, that means both heat and power. Next is which of the following has recently signed an MOU with the Military College of Telecommunication Engineering to advance collaboration in next generation wireless technologies for the Indian Army. Then it is SAMIR, that is Society for Applied Microwave Electronics Engineering and Research. Next is the Ministry of Education constituted a 7-member high-level committee that is headed by whom to enhance the National Testing Agency examination process and their functioning. So the Ministry of Education, they constituted a 7-member committee that will be headed by whom? It will be headed by K. Radhakrishnan. Then if we talk about here Rajiv Gauba, remember Ministry of Law and Justice has constituted a 6-member committee to examine the various issues and the rights of the LGBTQ community, and here this committee will be headed by Rajiv Gauba. Next, in which country did Union Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar recently unveiled the virtual plaque to mark the formal commissioning of the Maritime Rescue Coordination Center built with $6 million grant from India? It is in Sri Lanka. This was commissioned in Sri Lanka. Next, the report titled India's Deep Tech Dawn Forging Ahead. It is released by which organization and stated that India is ranked 6th among the top 9 deep tech ecosystems globally with over 3,600 deep tech startups. So, which is this organization? It is NASSCOM, Zinov, right? They have released this report stating that India is ranked 6th among the top 9 deep tech ecosystems globally. Moving on, who has been recently appointed as the new secretary of the TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, for a period of 2 years. So Atul Kumar Chaudhary, right? He has been appointed as the new secretary of TRAI and he will be in this position for the next 2 years. And this appointment will come after supination of V. Raghunandan. Then if we talk about Jagjit Pavadia, remember he was re-elected as the member of the INCB, that is International Narcotics Control Board, and this will be his 3rd term from 2025 to 2030. I repeat, Jagdeep Pavadia, she's a woman, right? She has been appointed here. Next is in June, China successfully launched Space Variable Objects Monitor through the Long March 2C carrier rocket at Shizheng Satellite Launch Center in the Sichuan province of the southwest China. The project was led by China National Space Administration and which organization? It is CNES, that is China Center for National Edu Spatial. They basically, remember, this is the space organization of France, right? Next, who recently got 1 year extension from Appointments Committee of the Cabinet to serve as the Director of IB, that is Intelligence Bureau, up to 30th of June 2025. So Tapan Kumar Deka, right? He got 1 year extension from ECC to serve as the Director of IB up to 30th of June. He will continue to serve as the Director of IB till 30th of June 2025. Next, with which company Ministry of Defence recently signed a contract to design and develop a miniaturized satellite capable of carrying payloads of up to 150 kgs for the Indian Air Force? It is Space Pixel Technologies Private Limited. This is the organization. They have signed with Ministry of Defence and to develop miniaturized satellites that are capable of carrying payloads of up to 150 kilograms, and it is for the Indian Air Force. It marks 350th contract under the IDEX initiative of the Ministry of Defense. Next, what is the name of ISRO's reusable launch vehicle that successfully completed their third autonomous landing experiment on 23rd of June 2024? So it is Pushpak, right? Pushpak is the name of ISRO's reusable launch vehicle that completed the third autonomous landing experiment on 23rd of June. Next, Dash is the co-inventor of the DLS method for calculating target scores in the limited overs cricket hit by bad weather, passed away in June 2024. So Frank Duckworth, right? He is the co-inventor of the DLS method for calculating target scores in limited overs cricket hit by bad weather, passed away in June 2024. So Frank Duckworth, correct? Next is, in June, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, has announced that the Jabalpur Airport and flyover passing through the Madan Mahal will be named after Dash. So it will be named after Rani Durgavati. Correct. So Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh Mohan Yadav announced that the Jabalpur Airport and flyover passing through Madan Mahal will be named after Rani Durgavati. Next, who was recently named as the president of the Professional Golf Tour of India? Kapil Dev was named as the president of the Professional Golf Tour of India. He became the PGTI board member in 2021, that is Professional Golf Tour of India. In May, Ministry of Mines signed an MOU with Dash for sharing knowledge support in the area of critical minerals. We know these critical minerals are very important for the economic development of India. So in May, Ministry of Mines, they have signed an MOU with Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation for sharing knowledge, support, technologies in the area of critical minerals. Next, Dash has recently released a special postal cover for the Silver Jubilee celebration on 1st of May. So Army Dental Central Research and Referral, they have recently released a special postal cover and it is for the Silver Jubilee celebration. Silver Jubilee is basically to celebrate the 25 years of commencement. Right? Next, which company has recently signed an MOU with RailTel to explore and deliver train collision avoidance system by the name Kavach for the implementation projects in India and other countries, right? This will avoid the train collisions in India and it will stop the trains before they collide, correct? And this is RailTel Corporation India Limited. They have recently signed an MOU with which company? So they have signed this MOU with Quadrant Future Tech Limited, right? An MOU has been signed between them in order to implement this Kavach train collisions avoidance system. Next, which company has recently launched an unmanned combat aerial vehicle, that is UCAV, Flying Wedge Defense 200B by the short form FWD 200B, that is India's first indigenous military grade bomber drone. So which company has recently launched this UCAV? It was launched by Flying Wedge Defense and Aerospace Technologies Private Limited. They have launched this UCAV, that is unmanned combat aerial vehicle. See, we know what are UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. They are the normal drones, right? And what is UCAV? UCAV is a drone that will be used in the combat, right? That means it will be used in the warlike scenario, right? For attacking. Next is, which company has recently partnered with India Post for last e-mail commerce delivery service? So which company have partnered with India Post for last mile e-commerce delivery service? It is F Ship Logistics, right? This is a tech driven logistics platform and they have partnered with India Post. They have partnered with India Post to enhance the last mile delivery service for the e-commerce products. According to the Global Forest Watch monitoring data released in April, India has lost dash hectares of tree cover since 2000. So, according to the data released by Global Forest Watch, they have released a data that stated that India has lost about 2.33 million hectares of the tree cover. That means this amount of tree cover has been lost. The trees here that were there, they have been cut down and the land has been cleared out since 2000. Next, name the digital platform that has been recently released by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare to disburse subsidies to the horticulture farmers. So, what is the digital platform? It is CDP Suraksha. CDP Suraksha, right? That is Cluster Development Program. Suraksha is System for Unified Resource Allocation, Knowledge and Secure Horticulture Assistance. And this will be basically a scheme that will be disbursing subsidies to horticulture farmers. Right? CDP Suraksha. This is the digital platform. Question can be asked this: CDP Suraksha was launched by which ministry? It was launched by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Next, name the India's first locally manufactured fully electric open cast mining truck that has recently launched by Savvy Heavy Industry India Private Limited. So, India's first locally manufactured fully electric open cast mining truck. What is the name of the truck? It is SKT105E. Option 1 is right here. This is the name of the open cast mining truck. This is the first of its kind developed locally in India and it has been launched by Savvy India. This is the organization, right, that has developed this and launched this. Next, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare extended the deadline for linking Ayushman Bharat Health Account ID with CGHS beneficiary ID to dash days. We know that recently they came together to implement it so that better work can be done in this sector, right? So for the same reason, a deadline was provided where ABHA ID will be linked with CGHS ID to the date has been extended by 120 days. Right now it will be 30th of June 2024. Correct. Also remember the deadline for creating ABHA ID has also been extended for a time period of 90 days, that is till 30th of June 2024. Next, which Indian Institute of Technology recently launched India's first medical device calibration facility on wheels? It is IIT Madras. They have recently launched India's first medical device calibration facility on wheels. What is this calibration? Calibration means when a machine is sometimes out of the focus, right? That means there are various variations in a device, right, that you can change the settings of it so that it can adapt to a particular process. So that is calibration, correct? So for the same reason, India's first medical device calibration facility on wheels was launched by IIT Madras. This mobile facility aims to provide quality calibration services nationwide, and this initiative, this is aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 3, that is good health and well-being. Next, Indian Army's Tri-Shakti Corps conducted a training exercise of anti-tank guided missile at a super high altitude of area of 17,000 feet in Dash state, that will be in the Sikkim state. So, Indian Army's Tri-Shakti Corps conducted a training exercise of anti-tank guided missile that is a super high altitude area of 17,000 feet in Sikkim. This exercise was conducted with an aim of Ek Missile Ek Tank, that with the help of a single missile we can take out one single tank, that is we can destroy that tank. So that is the reason it is a anti-tank guided missile. Next, in April, Ministry of Finance notified the amendment to Foreign Exchange Management Rules of 2019 to operationalize the new foreign direct investment limits for satellite related activities. Question is that FDI is allowed up to how much % under the automatic route for manufacturing components and system or subsystems of satellites, ground segments and user segment. In simple terms, remember, if we are talking about space sector, government of India has allowed how much percent FDI in the space sector? So 100% FDI is allowed in this space sector. Take a note of this. It is an important question, can be definitely asked. Next is Dr. Jitendra Singh, our Union Minister of State for Science and Technology, launched the 1 week, 1 theme campaign under which to demonstrate the recent success stories of India in various streams of science and technology. Right? So basically, Jitendra Singh, he has recently launched the campaign under CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and he have launched 1 week, 1 theme campaign. This will demonstrate the recent success stories of India in the various sections of science and technology. So option 3 is right here. Next, in which state did Ministry of Coal launch India's first ever underground coal gasification pilot project at the Kasta coal block? It is Jharkhand. Right? Jharkhand state has recently launched India's first ever underground coal gasification pilot project at the Kasta coal block, and this will in the Jamtara district of Jharkhand. Then if we talk about Odisha, remember recently Renew and JERA, Renew Company and JERA, they have recently partnered for the production of green ammonia in Odisha. Next, name the city that has recently become India's first UNESCO City of Literature. It is Kozhikode. Kozhikode is in Kerala and it became the first UNESCO City of Literature. Take a note of this. Then if we talk about Indore, remember recently Swachh Sarvekshan, that is a cleanliness survey award was held, and Surat and Indore, both of them has been recognized as the cleanest city in India. So Surat and Indore, they both were recognized as the cleanest city of India according to the cleanliness survey, that is your Swachh Sarvekshan. Which of the following exercises was recently conducted by Indian Army and the Indian Air Force across multiple locations in Punjab? This exercise is Gagan Strike 2. Right? In Ambala, Haryana based Kharga Crops, the Indian Army's Western Command, Indian Air Force, they have conducted this Gagan Strike 2. This was a 3-day long joint exercise held in multiple locations in Punjab. Next, which company or regulatory body has recently received the ISO IEC 42001-2023 certification for its artificial intelligence management system? It is Infosys. Right? Take a note of this. Next, in May, India's first commercial battery energy storage system, that is BESS project, they have received the regulatory approval from Delhi Electricity Regulatory Commission, DERC. The project is being developed by which organization? It is being developed by BSES Rajdhani Power Limited in partnership with India Grid Trust and the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet. Right? Take a note of this, and this is in line with India's goal of deploying 47 gigawatt of battery energy storage system by 2032. Next, ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, they signed a memorandum of understanding with Dash to ensure the supply of indigenous marine grade steel. So Indian Coast Guard, they signed an MOU with Jindal Steel and Power Limited to ensure the supply of indigenous marine grade steel. And this marine grade steel, this will be used to build the ships. Right? Next, which department or ministry has recently signed a transformative agreement with the Springer Nature Group to promote open access principles in scholarly research? That is your Department of Atomic Energy, DAE. Right? So Springer Nature Group, this is a German British academic publishing company, and they have signed a transformative agreement. It was with Department of Atomic Energy. This will allow more than 50 centers affiliated to the Department of Atomic Energy to read, publish, and have the open access of various research papers. Next, what is the focus area of Telecom Design Collaboration Sprint, the first of its kind initiative by the Department of Telecommunication? It is Rapid Ideation and Telecom Stack. I repeat, Rapid Ideation and Telecom Stack. This is the focus area of the Telecom Design Collaboration Sprint, the first of its kind initiative by the Department of Telecommunication. Right? And this is a first of its kind initiative at the International Institute of Information Technology, Bangalore, that is IIIT Bangalore in Karnataka. Next, which shipbuilding company has celebrated 250th Foundation Day on May 14, 2024? So it is Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited. They have recently celebrated 250th Foundation Day on 14th May 2024. Correct? And this celebration for the same was held in Mumbai, Maharashtra, and it was presided over by the Secretary Giridhar Armane from the Ministry of Defense. And during this, a fuel cell electric ferry was launched, a midget submarine was launched by the name Arowana, and a technical seminar and a commemorative coin of 250 rupees was launched to mark the 250th Foundation Day. Next, in May, Bhilai Steel Plant is set to install the 15 megawatt floating solar project at its Maroda 1 reserve that is located in Chhattisgarh. Right, so Bhilai Steel Plant that is set to install the 15 megawatt floating solar project at their Maroda 1 reservoir that is in Chhattisgarh. Next, as per the periodic labor force survey by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation for January to March, India's urban employment rate in current weekly status terms for the persons aged 15 years and above is 6.7%. Next, which ministry has recently organized the ONDC Startup Mahotsav, that is a first of its kind event held at Vanijya Bhavan in New Delhi. So which ministry it is? It is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They have recently organized this ONDC Startup Mahotsav that will be a first of its kind initiative. This event saw a participation of more than 5,000 startups including 12 unicorns in hybrid mode also. And so far ONDC platform they have over 5 lakh registered sellers, which is more than 70% are of small and medium sellers. Next, which state or UT has recently launched disaster reporting and information management system for reporting damages during disasters? It is the Assam state, and they have launched this disaster reporting and information management system, that is DRIMS, for reporting the damages during the disasters. Next, according to the provincial payroll data released by which organization, formal job creation has increased by 11.4% in FY24 to 15.4 million compared to 13.85 million in FY23. So, according to this provisional payroll data released by which organization? So, it was released by whom? It was released by Employees Provident Fund Organization, EPFO. And according to them, there is a formal increase in job creation by almost 11.4%. Next is according to the periodic labor force survey released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, which of the following states topped the youth employment rate among the 15 to 29 age group for January to March quarter for FY24? Which is it? It is Kerala state that has topped in terms of the youth unemployment rate among the 15 to 29 age group, right? Kerala has topped here. Next, if we talk about the highest unemployment rate for women, where it is? It is in Jammu and Kashmir, that is at 48.6% of women unemployment. Next, which organization has recently inaugurated the first largest green hydrogen plant at Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh? It is Gas Authority of India Limited, that is GAIL. Right? GAIL has recently inaugurated the first largest green hydrogen plant at Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. The plant has a capacity to produce 4.3 tons per day of hydrogen through 10 megawatt proton exchange membrane electrolyzer. This 10 megawatt plant was built with an investment of 231 crore rupees. Next, who has recently won the women's single title at the World Table Tennis Contender Lagos 2024 tournament held in Nigeria? It was won by Shrija Okla. She is an Indian, and remember, Indian contingent won a total of 9 medals, out of which 3 were gold, 1 silver and 5 bronze. This WTT Contender Lagos, it was held where? It was held in Nigeria, and Shrija Okla of India won the women's single title here, and she became the first Indian player to win the women's single title in the WTT Contender. Next, who has recently won the F1 2024 Spanish Grand Prix held in Montemelo, Spain? So, Who recently won this? It was won by Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is the driver for Red Bull. He's a Belgian Dutch racer, right? And this will be Max Verstappen's third Spanish Grand Prix title, correct? And fourth in his career. He won this in 2016, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So, third consecutive and overall fourth title. Next, when was the United Nations International Day of Women in Diplomacy annually observed across the globe? So it is 24th of June that UN International Day of Women in Diplomacy is observed across the globe on 24th of June. And the theme here is Women's Leadership in Multilateral Diplomacy. And here India ranked, remember this also, India ranked 171st in the terms of the representation of women in parliament, and in this it is Finland that has secured the first position. Next, which of the following has recently become the sixth Indian company to achieve a market capitalization of $100 billion? It is ICICI Bank, right? It became the sixth Indian company to achieve a market cap of $100 billion. Next, which startup has recently launched India's first commercial system on chips named Secure IoT? It is Mindgrove, right? Mindgrove, they have recently launched India's first commercial system on chip named Secure Internet of Things. Mindgrove Technologies Private Limited, this is a semiconductor startup backed by Indian Institute of Technology Madras. And here the first commercial system on chips named Secure IoT will be launched. This will be 30% less expensive than the existing chips in the market. And remember, this Secure IoT will have high performance that is at 700 megahertz. Next, the Indian Army and the Puneet Balan Group jointly developed India's first Constitution Park, which was inaugurated where? It was inaugurated in Pune, Maharashtra. So, Indian Army and Puneet Balan Group, they together developed India's first Constitution Park, and where it is? It is in Pune, Maharashtra. Direct question will be asked it. And this Constitution Park, this is basically for a educational and recreational purpose. The aim here is to provide knowledge about the Constitution and instill a sense of pride in the India's democratic heritage. Next, Ministry of Home Affairs have recently granted a no objection certificate, that is NOC, to change the names of 8 railway stations in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. Which of the following railway station in Amethi was renamed as Tapeshwarnath Dham? So, question asked here is that which of the following railway station in Amethi was renamed as Tapeshwar Dham? So, what is the name of that railway station? It is Fursatganj railway station. It was renamed to Tapeshwarnath Dham. Correct? And a total of 8 railway stations will be renamed in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. Then, if we look at some other that has been renamed is at Kasimpur Halt. Kasimpur Halt. This has been renamed to what? To Jais City Railway Station. Right? And Bani Railway Station. I repeat, Bani Railway Station. It has been renamed to what? Swami Paramhans. It has been renamed to Swami Paramhans. Right? Do remember these two. Next, which city has been ranked as the most livable city for the third consecutive year according to the Economist Intelligence Unit's Global Livability Index 2024? So it is Vienna. So according to EIU's Global Livability Index, Vienna, the capital of Austria, has been topped the index as the most livable city for the third consecutive year. Denmark's Copenhagen was on the second position, whereas Zurich was on the third position. Next is in June, RBI introduced a revised dash currency swap framework for 24 to 27. So RBI, they have introduced the revised SAC, that is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation currency swap framework for 24 to 27. According to this framework, RBI would enter into bilateral swap agreement with SAC central banks who wish to avail the swap facility. Next, name the housing finance company that has recently signed a $60 million non-convertible debentures financing agreement with the Asian Development Bank to offer housing loans for women. It is Aadhar Housing Finance Limited, and this is one of the largest housing finance companies in India. As of June, $30 million has been disbursed so far, and the deal was to disburse $60 million. Next, in June, Mindspace Business Park Real Estate Investment Trust, that is a REIT, they have secured a sustainability linked bond worth 650 crore rupees from whom? It is from IFC, that is International Finance Corporation. Right? It has become the first Indian REIT to invest or to issue such bonds. These bonds will have a tenure of 7 years and the coupon rate here will be 7.94%. Next, RBI's gold reserve held overseas declined to their lowest level in 6 years by the end of March 2024, accounting to 47% of the total reserves accumulated since December 2017. As of March 2024, RBI's total gold holdings stood at 822.1 tons. Correct? Take a note of this. Next, name the fintech company that has recently received the final authorization from RBI to operate as an online payment aggregator. So Hitachi Payment Service Limited, right? They have recently been granted the final authorization from RBI to operate as an online payment aggregator. If we talk about e-banks, remember Yes Bank. This is a leading private sector bank. They entered into a partnership with e-banks for payment processing in India for the global digital economy. Next, name the new digital investment platform that was recently launched by HDFC Bank to simplify investment process. It is Smart Wealth, right? This is the new digital investment platform that was recently launched by HDFC Bank to simplify investment process. This Smart Wealth, this is an application that will enable the users to create smart charts which give personalized portfolios plan that can be modified or paused anytime. Next, in June, Securities and Exchange Board of India constituted a working group headed by G. Padmaban to review what? It was to review the derivative trading norms. This will be a 15-member group working group that will be headed by G. Padmaban, and he is the former director of Reserve Bank of India. Next, South Korean K-pop band named 17 has been recently named as the first ever dash. So K-pop band of South Korea 17, it has been named as the UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador for Youth. Take a note of this, right? And Audrey Osley, the Director General of UNESCO, appointed 17, the South Korean K-pop boy band group. It contains of 13 members for this, and they were appointed as the first ever Goodwill Ambassador for Youth. Even this group has contributed $1 million for financing this initiative. Then apart from this, if we talk about Goodwill Ambassador for Earth Hour, here Indian badminton player PV Sindhu joined the World Wildlife Fund as Goodwill Ambassador for Earth Hour India, and Earth Hour, when was it observed? Earth Hour was observed on 23rd of March. Next, who has been recently appointed as a convener of the group of minister of the reconstituted GST rationalization panel. So it is Samrat Chaudhary. He will succeed Suresh Khanna, the Finance Minister of Uttar Pradesh, who has been serving as the convener of GST rate rationalizations since October 2023. Next, if we talk about Rajiv Kumar, ECC has approved the appointment of Rajiv Kumar as the Director General of Bureau of Police Research and Development. Next, who has been recently appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of SBI General Company Limited. So, who has been appointed as the MD and CEO of SBI General Insurance Company Limited, Naveen Chandra Jha. Correct? He has been appointed as MD and CEO of SBI General Insurance Company Limited, and he was nominated by parent company SBI and succeeded Kishore Kumar Poludasu. Then if we talk about Ajit Kumar, RBI has approved the appointment of Ajit Kumar KK as the MD and Chief Executive Officer of Dhanlakshmi Bank for the next 3 years. Next, which country has recently become 100th member of International Solar Alliance? It is Paraguay. And which was the 99th member? It was Spain. So Paraguay is 100 and Spain was 99th. Next, in June, RBI has raised Ways and Means Advance Limit or financial accommodation for state governments and union territories to dash with effect from 1st of July. So they have raised the limit or financial accommodation for state governments and UTs to 60,118 crore rupees. Correct? It has been increased by 28%. Earlier it was 47,010 crore rupees and now it has been increased to 60,118 crore rupees, and this will be coming into effect from 1st of July 2024. Next, according to Brand Finance India 100 2024 report, which company retained the number one position in the brand value ranking with a 9% growth in the brand value to $28.6 billion? It is Tata Group, right? According to Brand Finance India 100 report, which company? It is Tata Group. They have retained the number one position in the brand value ranking with a 9% growth in the brand value to $28.6 billion. Infosys, they retained the second spot, whereas HDFC Group retained the third spot. And if we talk about the strongest Indian brand, it is Taj. Next, who has been recently became the overall winner in the 2024 Commonwealth Short Story Prize, that is for Aishwarya Rai. Which is it? Tell me. So who is that person? Who is that author? She is Sanjana Thakur. She became the overall winner of the Commonwealth Short Story Prize for the story Aishwarya Rai. Next, when was the National Statistics Day, that is Statistics Day, annually observed across India to acknowledge and appreciate the contribution of statisticians in India? So this day is observed on 29th of June. This day is also the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalabonis, also known as the father of modern statistics in India. And June 29th, it marks the observance of the 18th edition of the National Statistics Day, and the theme here is use of data for decision making. Next, according to the Center for Science and Environment's latest report, their state accounted for 24% of the total compressed biogas generation potential in India. It is Uttar Pradesh, right? It is the state that accounts for 24% of the total compressed biogas generation potential in India.